Kelly with Embroidery Nurse. Welcome to another Monogram Monday. So today I'm going to be showcasing a canvas tote bag. These are from Mainstreet Market and they're called, what do they call them? The Jet Setter Duffel Bag. And I know you're probably like, Kelly, another bag? But yes, you guys, if you are gonna have a business and embroidery, you better master monogramming bags, especially if you open up your embroidery business to the people that are local to you in your community and allow people to drop things off at your door. Some people are like, no, I don't do that at all. But I've always, I kind of teeter back and forth, and certain times of year, I'm not able to do that, but I try to be full service, and especially want to help those in my community because they're going to be the best promoters of your business, and they're going to be lifelong customers, the ones that are right here local to you. But the reason I say that is because that's the number one thing people drop off, a bag. They buy a bag and the first thought they have is, I want to put my monogram on that bag. I want to claim that bag as mine. And I just love these. I was slightly intimidated in regards to a canvas when I first started embroidering. I felt like I needed safety goggles on because I was worried that my needle was just going to like go bing. But it didn't, it really didn't. And what's amazing is I use the same needle on these bags that I do on children's shirts. I don't change it. I don't, put a different needle on because of the thickness of this at all. It works perfect. It really does. This also has this particular bag on the inside. I call these like boat bags or pool bags, beach bags. For one reason, it's got a nice lining on the inside that allows it to be kind of water resistant or whatnot, that you can kind of wipe away. So that's nice. But oh my goodness, the colors this bag comes in. Look at this. Look at this pink, a Kelly green, a Carolina blue, which is what we call this blue around here, red, black, and here's the navy. So those are the 6 colors that they sell these bags in, and they probably have other colors different times of year, but these are the ones that I purchased. And I just did a big sale in my own Facebook group. Mainly I'm just trying to clear my shelves. I don't know if you can notice from my other videos, I just painted in here. So I don't even have my business sign up right now. Just trying to kind of be fresh, spring cleaning, I guess you take it for what it is. But this is definitely something I feel like everybody should master, because you will have one of these at some point from somebody to work on. Now you do, especially when you have things dropped off, want to filter out what is best, as far as things that you maybe can't do, things that don't work. But bags such as this, they don't have any pockets on the outside. There's no pockets on the interior side, which is like embroidery heaven when you don't have all those extra pockets to have to figure out where the monogram should go, or you don't want to monogram through something on the inside. So these are perfect, made for monogramming. So what's great about a bag like this is it's perfect for both your multi-needle and your single needle machine. And I'm going to pull out my single needle in a minute and show you also how you can do these. For me, the bigger the bag for a single needle, the easier, because what you're going to do is you're going to flip it inside out and basically have the entire outer portion of the bag over top of your machine. So it's completely out of the way, and I just think it really makes things easier the bigger they are. The smaller a bag is, the harder it is to kind of fold it, scrunch it, hold it on a single needle. For your multi-needle machines, easy peasy, lemon squeezy. We're just going to use fast frames today. Fast frames, you might have a brand that works great for you, and if you do, comment below so that other people can learn what works in your business. But fast frames are what I've had since the beginning of time. No, since I bought my machine, because basically when I bought my first machine, my multi-needle, I bought these the same day. They were recommended. I didn't really do a lot of research beforehand, but they've worked great for me. So these are my fast frames, and excuse how messy they are. I do need to clean those as part of my spring cleaning, don't I? So we're just going to use fast frame, attach it to our machine here, and we're going to use our sticky stabilizer. So I use a different sticky stabilizer when I'm doing heavy objects or really thick material, because this needs to be stronger. Some of the other sticky stabilizer I have tears very easily. And if you're doing an item like this, you don't want it to literally pull off the machine because the bag itself is so heavy. And I like to be able to walk away from my project. I don't like to have to hold it there. I've got other things to do. So this has been really helpful, and I will link this below in the show notes. This is from World Weidner. I don't know if I'm ever saying that right. Weidner? World Weidner. And you can get it on Amazon. It's their sticky peel and stick self-adhesive tearaway medium weight stabilizer. And I like this one because it's 8 inches and it comes in like 10 yards, so 30 feet. There's all different sizes that you can get as far as height and as far as, you know, how much comes on a roll. So there's a lot of different options and you can figure out what works best for you. But this 8 inch by 10 yards is perfect. I feel like I have it for a while. And the reason I like it is because it's the exact size of this particular fast frame. And this is the one I use for most. I mean, when it comes to a monogram, that's pretty much the size I do on a lot of things. There's bigger fast frames, there's smaller fast frames, but this is the one I definitely use the most. And the reason I like this size, the 8 inch, is because it is the exact size of my fast frame here. So if you can see that. So I don't have to do extra trimming, I don't have to do a lot of waste. I literally just cut it to the size of my fast frame, and then I'll adhere it on the back. So we'll go ahead and do that and prepare that. I think I'm eating some of my hair. So I stick it straight on the back. You just peel it and stick it. And if you can see there, we've got it ready to go. So now we're gonna prepare it on our bag. Isn't this one beautiful? Oh my goodness. I love the fishtail monogram. That's like one of my newer go-tos, or it has been for a few months now. But if someone asks for, you know, what do you think? What would look best? This is one I tend to veer people towards. Really pretty fishtail. I'll link where I bought this one in the show notes as well. But how pretty is this navy and the hot pink? Ah, love it. Okay, so let me move all these out of the way, so we can see a little better here. So I have 11 of these to do today. So it's time to get going. I did, like I said, already do a few. Here's one of my examples. And y'all, you have to be careful when there's things on the inside. I actually, on the very first one, learned that I need to take out the support from the bottom because I stitched right through this. Luckily, it was only the, you know, the underlying stitch, so I was able to pull the stitch out and save the bag. But just be careful if there's something on the inside of a bag. Let's move this now too. So again, like what I said, it doesn't have any pockets on the inside or outside, so that's what makes this a wonderful bag. So really you can choose whichever side. A lot of times I'll choose the side that's not been folded, so it doesn't have that crease in it. So this side is gonna be better for that. Make sure you get the handles out of the way, and of course the bottom. Okay, for this one, I am doing a matching fishtail. And the letters are F-A-J, and I'm doing the fishtail on this one as well. That's what they reckon. That's what they chose. So, like I've said in all the videos that I make, I pre-print my designs from Embroidery Essentials because it gives me this perfect grid line here. I don't know if you can see it. I'll come closer so you can see it after I trip over all the bags. So, how close is that? So you can see right here the grid that I work off of. And so that's how I make sure this is the exact center of the design that I'm working on. So that just gives you a kind of close bird's eye view. I've only offered either 1 letter or 3 letter monogram on these bags. Reason being is I only had 7 inches to work with from this strap to this strap. So I didn't want, you know, someone with a short name would be fine, but if someone had a really long last name, then the font would just get so small that I just didn't think it would look well. So, you know, no one questioned, no one even asked to have it any different. I just, when I put out these bags for sale, I said that, you know, I mean, this would include a single or 3 letter monogram. Because I have seen where, you know, a name just gets so little when it's really long. So the monogram itself is perfect. This is a 3.5 inch monogram. When it came to my circle, I did do one a little bit bigger because it's more compact. So the circle monogram, I think, was the 4.5, and the fishtail was the 3.5, but it looks good in that size. I've already done it a couple of times. Sometimes you just have to test and see what measures best, but I always measure the area first, and it was 7 inches. I try to make sure that I do them all the same. If someone was to order more than one or reorder, I try to keep up with how big the monogram was so that it will match the next time that I make it. I've got little index cards and whatnot that kind of help remind me with some of that stuff. So there's my 7 inches when I measure across. So I'm going to pin right there at the 3.5 midpoint. And I'm going to take my grid, poke it through that middle grid line, and match it to the pin that I've already marked on the bag. And just kind of go through the other side and pin it in place. So you can play with it by ear and just figure out where, you know, it looks best. But I've just kind of determined that that's a good height for where that needs to be. So then I'm going to take my fast frame, the fast frame has a notch that's right here, and it's the exact center. So I try to line that notch up with the grid line as well, and also at the top of the bag. That's always a good indicator that we have it straight. So I'm going to slide it on, match that center up, and then as I'm pressing it in place, I'm just going to make sure that it all falls within the fast frame, and that I'm not going to be stitching outside of that because that wouldn't be good for the machine. All right, so once I have that, I do want to pin it top, bottom, and both sides. Reason being is because it's really heavy and I don't want it to pull away from the machine. The sticky stabilizer is very strong, but these bags, canvas, and then also the lining on the inside could pull away from the stabilizer while it's on the machine. So I like to pin it just for extra reassurance that it ain't going anywhere. There we go. And then I also want to make sure that my pins are nowhere near where I'm going to stitch, because we don't want to go over those either. All right. It's a thick bag. It really is. But like I said, I use the same needles on my machine. I don't need to change anything on there whatsoever. So the couple of things that you want to be, careful of, just that you position it on the machine in a way that the straps and everything are out of the way. And then, like I said the first time, I actually stitched through this with one of the first ones I did. So just make sure that it's a clear field when you do it. So I'm going to pull this up and match my letters here and find that on the machine. So we're going to find our F-A-J fishtail. There we go. And they wanted it to be in Carolina blue. So I've already got my fast frame attached to the machine here. So I'm just going to slide this on. And again, making sure that the strap is clear of the machine. I try to put it behind it. I think that keeps it out of place. And then screw it on. So you really do have to kind of wiggle it around once you get it there. Tighten it on, and just make sure that everything is kind of spread out. For one, you don't want your material to bubble up, and you also want it to be able to move back and forth when it's going to the far left and the far right of your design. So you don't want it to start to kind of pull or get stuck. I try not to put it through here because it can, like I said, pull it, and then it would make the machine jump and your whole design would kind of get off. So we're going to set the machine, and now I'm going to line up my laser light there with the center of my grid. And once I have that good, I can also do a tracer and just make sure, good, it goes straight to the top of that line and the bottom. And when it's an item like this, I like to trace it left and right and just make sure that the machine's able to do that and that it doesn't pull in the bag. Perfect. Bring it back to center, and then I'll take my grid off. I don't need that anymore. That's trash. And we'll go. We're going to tell it that we want to do it in that same color blue, which I've already loaded up there. And that's got 14 minutes to stitch. I have it on 700. I generally do everything at 1,000, but I just felt like I wanted to slow it down a little bit so that it wasn't having to I don't know. I just slowed it down. So it might not take that long if you do it a little bit faster. I don't turn a lot of things down. If they're really, really thin or really, really thick, sometimes I'll turn it down just a little bit because I feel like that helps. And I'm not in any rush. I've got a little bit extra time today, so it's okay. I don't have to speed through this. But so we'll go ahead and start. So it's 6,000 stitches, 14 minutes. I'll set it and I'll show you when we're done. Okay, she's all done. All right, so we just want to pop it off the machine here. And we're going to take our pins out. This machine, I need to figure out how to fix it, either myself or ask at the shop. It's not been cutting the thread that well, so sometimes you'll get a little piece like this, but I just go back and trim it. Yes, yes, yes. Beautiful. So what's so easy about this is we literally will just take this, pull it off, and then take any little extra pieces. And if I have like little threads on the inside, I like to snip those too. Just looks better. And there you go. Oh my goodness. I love it. Isn't that awesome? What a great bag. I hope this helped. Happy stitching. Get out there and tackle that canvas tote. I'm going to show you real quick how you can do this on a single needle as well. And if you find this helpful, then please like, subscribe, hit that notification bell so you can catch all our Monogram Mondays from here on out. Let me show you how you can do this on your single needle machine. Okay, so let me show you really quick how you can do this on your single needle machine. Bags like this, even though they're humongous, are actually very simple to do on your single needle. To me, the bigger the bag, the easier it is to do on a smaller machine. The reason being is because you're going to turn anything inside out like this. So take that liner out again, and then just flip the bag inside out. And the reason the bigger the bag, the easier it is because you literally are going to put the entire top half of the bag that you're not stitching on over the top of the machine. So let me show you real quick. So get the whole thing inside out. And if our design, if we have put our design right here, I'll be pinning the design on this side, then that's the side we're going to slide through. So just pull that handle and then the bag itself through, and you center, line it up right above it. And the great thing about it is the extra part of the bag is over top of the machine. So literally all the way up and over the machine. And it gives you a clear area to stitch in. You'd probably have to hang out a little bit more with this. Just make sure that it doesn't shift around under here. I don't use sticky stabilizer when I'm using a single needle. I'll just use tear away and then I will pin it. So we call that floating. So we're gonna float the design on top of your hoop. So instead of hooping it, because this is just too thick to do that, you're going to put it on top. You're gonna hoop your tear away stabilizer, and then you're going to pin this on the top, and that's called floating. So we're pinning it to the top of the tearaway, putting the hoop on, and then pulling this up and over the top of the machine. And it truly is amazing what it can do as far as keeping this part out of the way. You might have to make sure it doesn't hit or mess with your thread, but really, like I said, the bigger the bag, the easier it is to monogram. And we're only doing 3.5-inch monograms because that's what fit in our 7-inch space. So again, perfect bag, single needle, multi-needle, either way, you got it. Hope you enjoy it. Hope you can start mastering those big canvas bags, because I promise you're going to see a bunch of them. And if you found this helpful, I would love for you to like this video, subscribe, hit that notification bell so you don't miss any of the videos that I have coming out in the future. Hope you'll have a great day. Happy stitching!